You are about to listen to an exclusive interview here on Maximum Threshold Radio at MaximumThreshold.net.
Maximum Threshold, you're unfortunately on the air with us.
Hey, guys, it's Mark from Talking Metal. How are you?
Hey, Mark, what's going on, man?
Hey, Mark from Talking Metal. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's really cool to have you on here, man, because I've been a big fan of Talking Metal for years, and go back and forth talking with you guys and John about trying to do some sort of, networking thing so we could try to keep our names back out, keep it out there, and keep it rolling. And it's really cool to finally connect and actually do something about it.
He likes to connect with other guys.
That's Dave.
Definitely. Well, yeah, I know. Maximum Threshold and Talking Metal. I mean, I believe they're probably two of the longest running metal podcasts, if you will, out there.
Oh yeah, this has been going on for a little, almost 7 years, I think it was.
Yeah, it only makes sense that 7 years later we connect on the phone here at least. So yeah, thanks for having me on. Definitely.
No problem.
Hey, Dominic was telling me you guys did a TV show for a bit. That's pretty cool. We were trying that ourselves.
Well, we've done a few. We've done some real. I guess I'd call them real TV shows, like that were actually on TV, and then more recently we've done 2 episodes of what we were calling Talking Metal Pirate Radio that we threw up on YouTube, which were a lot of fun and a lot harder to produce and actually complete than I was originally thinking they would be. It's interesting where technology is going, and I think for people like us, it could potentially be a good thing, because I think that if we can produce our own content, being podcasts, radio shows, or even TV shows, I just think that soon, and it's already becoming this way, you're going to be able to sit in your living room on your sofa and actually watch streaming channels and streaming content and stuff like that. And I think, I work in television, and the one thing I don't think is going to go away is the American experience of sitting there and watching a TV in your family room or in your bed. And I just think the one boundary that is still there is that what we do is on the internet, and not all of America is tuned into the fact that you can actually get a lot of this stuff. I'm talking video content for that matter on your TV. And I think the technology is still kind of catching up, but I just saw there's this new streaming heavy metal television station. Do you guys know about that?
Yeah, I was. It just recently came out.
Is that the one on Roku?
No. This is something they're actually going to have it on what's it, on TV or something like that, or the net. And it's going to be it's a full network station. It's called Heavy Metal TV.
That's cool.
And we're trying.
It seems like it started. Because I read the press release a few weeks back, and then somebody sent me a link that it was live, and I checked it out. It's interesting, and it's something I've thought about doing, but again, as you guys know, it's like everything takes time and effort, and sometimes money too.
Agreed. Well, we put out a magazine, a print magazine as well, so we understand what it's like about doing everything yourselves about that. So, what do you do in TV? You said you work in TV.
Yeah, I've worked in television for 20 years. Right now, I write and produce commercials for a station called IFC, which is
Independent Film Channel.
Part of. They don't like to be known as Independent Film Channel anymore. They just want to be known as IFC. But yeah, Independent Film Channel.
Well, it's been 10 years since I had cable, so that's the last time I saw it.
Yeah, we live off the Roku.
Well, it's part of AMC Networks. So
that's cool.
I basically write commercials for their original shows and movies, and produce the commercials. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool job. It's a lot of work. It pays the bills, and in some ways helps me do the talking metal stuff. Because even putting together the 2 recent Talking Metal TV shows that we put up on our youtube.com/Talking Metal page, just knowing people in the TV business and calling in favors to get good editors to work on it, and camera guys and stuff like that helped tremendously. So I'm still enjoying Talking Metal. 7 years. It's evolved. The show's evolved. I mean, but it's still fun for me to do.
All right, I have a couple questions. Oh, sorry, Michael.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
I got a couple important questions.
I had two important ones too.
These are more important.
Okay.
How do you feel about potentially not ever being able to have a Twinkie, a ho-ho, a ding-dong, or a Hostess cupcake for the rest of your life?
I can give you a ding-dong.
I choke on small bones, Dave.
I don't know, man. I get they're blaming the unions, right? I don't know. It's I'm okay with it personally. I used to like the Twinkies as a kid, but haven't had one in many years. So I'm all
you
right.
might not have one. You might not have one for many more years.
Earlier.
I got a zinger today.
You are a zinger.
That was the last one in the store.
I'll tell you what. Lately, I've been digging.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I've been digging the
You should
Hostess.
preserve that.
It is in my stomach. It has enough preservatives. I don't think it's leaving my colon.
All right, as long as we got a guy here that's intelligent, works in television and movies, sort of, and he has a 7-year podcast, and this goes out to you guys, this question. What major motion picture that came out during the 80s featured
Airheads.
a Twinkie as a metaphor?
Mandingo's Revenge.
It has to be something gay because Dave's our gay correspondent.
On gay TV. Ghostbusters. They were comparing the size of a
yeah.
Twinkie to how many ghosts were in the average area.
Right.
And they were like, that's a big Twinkie.
Dave, that was thrilling.
This
That was-
is the same guy who we go see a movie and he tells the director, writer, and star, I really like the costumes.
Well, no, like the monster, the creature. I think he did a good job on that.
And you said costumes.
What are you going to call it?
Wait, let's stop a second. Let him in a loop of what you guys are talking about.
We saw a
Dave's gay.
horrible film that they loved called
We loved it.
Thanksgiving 3. But I got to
What was it called? Ice Killings 3?
Thanksgiving 3. Thanksgiving 3.
Oh, okay.
The only Thanksgiving horror film, I guess you'd call it.
It's a seasonal film.
But the point is,
The point is, Dave is in a closet homosexual, and he
Right.
tries to say I'm a homophobe. I'm just trying to get him to come out so he can enjoy his life more. Really, I mean, you tell the director and the star, the costumes were great.
I didn't. I said the monster.
You said the
monster.
You said the
costume.
puppets and the costumes were fantastic.
Well, the puppets were well made. Yes.
The movie started off with nipples in the beginning of the screen. You can say that was really creative or anything like that.
Anyways, my question to you is: since you've been doing a podcast for 7 years and you've met a lot of your quasi celebrities and iconic heroes growing up, what was that one that actually you're like, holy crap, I finally get to meet this person? Who was your one? Everybody has that one person.
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many of them. I'm just honored to meet so many of them. But and I guess Ozzy Osbourne, who I'd actually had met before many years ago, just briefly, but we had the opportunity to have him on Talking Metal twice, actually, and that was really cool. And especially the first time he was on Talking Metal, he was just overly friendly and nice and accommodating to us, so that was really cool. It's pretty. A lot of them we do over the phone, so I don't actually get to technically meet them face to face. But Ian Gillan from Deep Purple was
That'd have been cool.
amazing.
How
Nikki
about-
Sixx, it was cool.
How about your most embarrassing
Having him
one? Your most embarrassing interview, whether it be over the phone.
Other
or
than
person.
this one.
I mean, there's so many of them.
There has to be one. I like the
most embarrassing one.
Yeah, we accosted Jamie Josta once because we thought he was a crank caller calling in. So we were just like, "What's your middle name, man?" Prove you're Jamie Josta.
Yeah, embarrassing. I mean, actually, there's been probably dozens of them that I would say have been embarrassing. But I'm trying to think.
How about
I don't know.
put your foot in
I
your
don't
mouth?
know.
That has been one
I'd
that
have to give that one some thought.
you stuck your foot in your mouth. How's that?
Being a professional, did you ever call Carmine a piece, Carmen, like Dominic has, Mr. Metal over there,
or when he's at the movies?
I almost called him Carmine Appice because that's always confused me how his brother pronounces his last name differently than he does. But yeah.
Oh, Vinny's awesome.
Yeah. He's both those guys are great. We did. I think we had Vinny on once over the phone, but we had the opportunity to have Carmine come into to the studio. He lives in New York some of the time, so that was really cool. And he literally hung out all night. I mean, he just kept talking and talking. I heard he has a book coming out, so that should be interesting. It sounds like he has just so many great stories.
Vinny yelled at me for
you just missed his impersonation of Carmine. I got it.
Oh yeah.
So what do you guys
so
got?
Vinny yelled at you?
No, he yelled. Carmine yelled at Dom because he called him Carmen, and he goes, "My name's Carmine."
No, Vinny yelled at me for ordering the same food off the menu he was going to order, and he's like, "You can't order what I'm going to order off the menu." He says, "You have to order your own thing off the menu." I was like, "Okay, whatever you want."
Wow, nobody cared about that.
Oh, thanks.
I have a question. I look forward to listening to your Talking Metal shows, and how often are you planning on putting more of these out? 'Cause I know they're stagnant here and there. I know it has to do a lot with John's schedule and stuff, but I think it's really cool when you do this because the vibe that you get off it from when you do the show, I feel like it's coming more from your heart, and it's a more truer feeling of. You put more emphasis on the music and everything, other than talking Ace Frehley almost every episode when John's on there.
It's easy to meet Ace Frehley if you just give him a cigarette. Just hang out any venue he's going to be at, and I'll say, "Hey, man, you got a cigarette?"
I missed the last part. What was the cigarettes thing?
I said it's really easy to meet Ace Frehley. All you do is got to hang out at any venue he's going to play at, and he'll walk outside eventually. Say, "Anybody got a cigarette?"
Yeah. So, I don't think he smokes anymore. I don't know. Possibly he does.
Did 6 months ago. Oh, when did we see him? 6 months ago or a year ago, Dominic?
He was really.
I think it was about a year ago.
About a year ago. It was cold outside. I know that.
Well, one of your biggest fans wanted me to tell you hello. Chiaki wanted me to say hello pass it on to you.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, he's great. I was just turned on to that new Dokken album by listening to his podcast, which seems really good. Do you guys like Dokken? What do you think of the new Dokken album?
The new one, it's.
I saw them at concert; they were really good.
I like the guitar work in it. I think the singing is a little slacking, and maybe the lyrics are a little iffy, but the guitars are really good. I think that's the positive out of it.
I do not like Dokken.
You do not like green eggs and ham. What do you care?
Just like Dave doesn't like women, I don't like Dokken. Although I think Mick Brown and Jeff Pilson are pretty funny guys. And Don was, not Don. George was really interesting in a fun interview. He was a funny guy.
Yeah, we've never interviewed George. I'd love to talk with him.
He's got some good stories.
Yeah, don't talk about trannies though, because it'll get you talking for 2 hours straight.
Yeah.
Well, we always ask a band one question. Well, a variation of the question. One of the questions we ask if Michael's not here, I'll ask him who in the band is most likely to end up in bed with a tranny. And they usually throw nine times out of 10 they throw the drummer underneath the bus. If Michael's here, he'll ask him in person, like, if you had a chance and you were with the hottest girl you could ever imagine, and right before you were about to do her, she said that she was a tranny, what would you do? Would you keep going or would you stop? That's what Michael asked him. I've modified the question to get less yelled at.
Oh, so you're asking me that?
No, I'm just telling you how our show works.
Oh, okay.
No, it just said I'm the big pussy of the show.
You ruin the question with all the big build-up. You just dive in. Dude, did you ever see the people that do that polar thing where the polar bears, they jump, like the people jump into swimming in the frozen lake?
Yeah,
they don't dip their toe in and warm up. They just dive in.
I did that once.
You're supposed to. Of course you did. You've done everything. Dave is an expert on everything. He probably knows more about TV than you do, even though you were on TV. Just so you know.
No, I really did 2003. I did it.
Well, you're the size of a polar bear.
True that.
But
More like a walrus, though.
he's not in a band, so who's he going to throw under the bus?
No, I'm just telling him one of the questions we usually ask on the show. He interviews two people, too, so we do, and that's why they're going to tell him.
Oh, Jesus. Do you
Do you
guys
have in person, like people in the studio, or is it mostly call-in guests?
We do mostly call-ins, but then when we do a lot of like going to the concerts and doing interviews there, and we just bring it back and replay it.
Oh, so far we've had one in studio or two in studio things, right?
Yeah, why doesn't anybody come to the Maximum Threshold complex?
I don't know. I think it's the police and people stealing their cars out there. I don't know. Security's real tough.
Yeah, security's real tough. So,
15-year-old girl making fun of your shoes. No.
So, Mark, can you tell us a little bit about how people can check out your show and where it airs, where they can catch it at, and get caught up with Talking Metal?
Yeah, definitely. We're like everybody else. We're on iTunes. I think that's where most people subscribe and get the podcast. If you just search Talking Metal, it comes up, and you can also just hook up with the RSS feed if you hate iTunes for whatever reason. So that's the best way to get the audio podcast. Mm-hmm. And then what we've been doing is just throwing clips up on our YouTube page. Like this past week, we threw up a clip of us jamming with Rob Dukes from Exodus and Ron Lipnicki from Overkill playing Snowblind by Black Sabbath, which had been in one of our little episodes that we put together earlier in the year. But we just threw the song up there on its own. I think sounds really good. Rob sounds amazing on the song, at least. So that's on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/talkingmetal. And I guess, the site, talkingmetal.com.
Are they on TuneIn Radio, too?
That's about it.
Are you guys on TuneIn Radio?
No. Not that I know of. I don't think so. No. We had a live 365 thing where we were doing a live show through them, like once a month or something, but that's not currently happening. So, how do you guys do your live show? Do you use like a certain provider, like Live 365, or
we're going right through Shoutcast?
Shoutcast,
yeah.
Right, cool.
And we're fed through. Cool. We get all those other apps that hook up with it and link up with it and stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Can you do us, Mark? Can you do us a quick favor?
Yeah.
Can you do a promo ID for our show? Just say your name.
Oh, absolutely.
Your station. Same thing like you guys ask. Say listen to Maximum Threshold, and throw something crazy out at the end.
Something crazy.
Yeah. Don't put a lot of thought in that.
Like our show, just like our show.
I don't know if I have anything crazy, but I can definitely do an ID.
Okay.
Hey, this is Mark Strigl from Talking Metal at TalkingMetal.com. You are listening to the guys on Maximum Threshold. Was that weird? On Maximum?
Oh, that's good.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Maximum Threshold.
Hey, definitely, man. We really appreciate you coming on here and just BSing with us and listening to us dog on Dave for a little bit. And
yeah, cool. And I'm definitely subscribed now, so I'll be checking out the episodes on a more regular basis.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we do this every week, every Saturday.
Thanks for having me on, and maybe we can get one of you guys on our show sometime.
Cool. Sounds
good.
Hey,
and make sure to enjoy National Roofie Day.
That's right.
National Roofie Day. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, man. Have yourself a good one, and thanks again for being on the show tonight.
Cool, guys.
Okay, have a good night. You too.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to an exclusive interview here on Maximum Threshold Radio at MaximumThreshold.net.